Hi children, today we are going to study lesson 9, reproduction in animals. What is the meaning of reproduction? The process in which living beings produce new young ones of their own kind is called reproduction. That means it's produce next generation or next species. And what is it is essential for the continuation of a species, addition of new species, then replacement of dead organisms, then transfer of variations from one generation to another. Then name of some young ones of different animals. In your textbook, page number 100, table 9.1. First, human. In one is baby, cat, kitten, dog, puppy, butterfly, caterpillar, hen, chick, then cow, calf, and frog, tadpole. These are the young ones of some animals there. Then today we study modes of reproduction. There are two types of modes of reproduction. First is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means one male and one female fused to form another generation. Then asexual reproduction means only one parent. Sexual reproduction means two parents. That means male and female. Asexual reproduction means only single parent. That means male or female. Then sexual reproduction example, human, birth to babies, then cat, dog, mammals, etc. Then asexual reproduction, these animals give only single parent. Example, fish, starfish, frog, etc. Then first part we more study sexual reproduction. Then what is sexual reproduction? It is the type of reproduction which involves the union of one male and one female to produce on offspring reproductive cell similar to its parents. Example, human birth to baby, then same offsprings. The special reproductive cells formed by male and female individuals that take part in sexual reproduction are called gametes. They are haploid in nature. Haploid means half the number of chromosomes in parents. That means two chromosomes in male father and two chromosomes in mother. Then male gamete is called sperm. Then male gamete. Male gamete represent sperm and female gamete represent ova or egg. Then male gamete is sperm and female is ova or egg. Then in animals such as frogs, fishes, birds, reptiles and humans, an individual carries only one kind of gamete, either sperm in the male or the ovum in the female. That means in some animals have fish, starfish, frog have only single parent. That means they have only one male sperm or one ovum. Then that is they are unisexual. That means asexual. Asexual means unisexual. However, in some organism, both male and female gametes are present in the same individual. Such organisms are called hermaphrodite or bisexual. Earthworms and leeches are hermaphrodites. This means that each earthworm or leech is both male and female. Then what is the significance of sexual reproduction? It provides diversity of characters in offspring through genetic variation. That means in sexual reproduction it forms the genetic variation. It plays an important role in evolution of new species. Then what is fertilization? In sexual reproduction, the first step is the fusion of male with a female gamete. This process of fusion of male and a female gamete to form a zygote is called fertilization. That means male and female gamete to form a zygote. This is called fertilization. Zygote, this means fertilization. What is the meaning of fertilization? Fertilization means the fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Then there are two types of fertilization there. Internal fertilization and external fertilization. Internal fertilization means fertilization takes place inside the female body. That means example humans, cat, dog, etc. Then external fertilization means then fertilization takes place outside the body. Do you know some animals outside fertilization? Yes, fish, starfish, frog. These are example of external fertilization animals. Then first we study internal fertilization. What is the meaning of internal fertilization? Internal fertilization means the fertilization takes place inside the female body. That is inside the female body. Then in your textbook page number 101 some figures there. First we study male reproductive organs. First study male reproductive organs. Then page number 101 figure 9.1 male reproductive organs in humans. There are three types of organ portion there. First is testis, penis and sperm duct. Then the male reproductive organs include a pair of testes. That means these are the two pairs of testes. Then singular testes. Two sperm ducts and a penis. The testes produce the male gamete is called sperms. That means the male gamete is called sperms. Millions of sperms are produced by the testes, which shows the picture of sperm. Those sperms are very small in size. Each has a head, a middle piece and a tail. That means the human sperm. Figure 9.2. It has the three parts: head, middle piece and tail. Then next we study female reproductive organs. First we discuss male reproductive organs. There are three parts: testis, penis, sperm duct. Then human sperm contains three parts: head, middle piece and tail. Then next we study female reproductive organ. This diagram also page number 101, figure 9.3. Then three parts: oviduct, ovary and uterus. The female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries. You have to see two sides. Pair of ovaries, oviduct, that means fallopian tubes, and the uterus. The ovary produces female gametes is called ova or egg. That means male gamete is sperm, female gamete is called ovum or ova or egg. In human beings, a single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. Uterus is the part where development of the baby takes place. Like the sperm, an egg is also a single cell. That means egg is also a single cell. It can split into numerous cells. Then detailed study fertilization. That is how to this fertilization takes inside the body. Then humans undergo internal fertilization during reproduction. The sperm from the male are introduced in the vagina of female by the penis during intercourse. These travel up the vagina and uterus into the fallopian tube. It is here that one usually of the sperms fuses with the ovum, that is fertilization occurs. How to fertilization occur? When the fusion or the combine of male gamete, sperm and female gamete, ova or egg joined together, then fertilization takes place. During fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuse to form a single nucleus. The results in the formation of a fertilized egg or zygote. The zygote marks the beginning of a new individual as the process involves the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and a sperm cell from the father. So the new individual inherits some characteristics from the mother and some from the father. You yourself must have noticed that some of your and your siblings' characters are similar to your mother and some to your father. Then how to look the picture. Figure 9.5. How to fertilization takes place. The distribution of sperm and ovum, they fuse into the fertilization takes place. It forms a zygote. Then next is how to development embryo. That is, first step is the fusion of male and female gamete. That means female and male gamete joined together to form a fertilization. First fertilization process is zygote, and then next is how to develop embryo. In human beings, after fertilization, the zygote travels down the oviduct. It divides repeatedly to form a ball of cells by cell division. The cells then begin to form groups that finally develop into different tissues and organs of the body. This developing structure is called the embryo. That means this fusion of male and female gamete form first is formed of the single cell. That means embryo. Embryo is formed the single cell. It gets embedded in the wall of the uterus for further development. This is called implantation. That means these these forms of female and male gametes form to form a implantation. Then next is reproduction in hen. Hen is a bird that is also undergoes internal fertilization as humans. That means hen also internal fertilization. Internal fertilization means fertilization takes place inside the body. That means hen. But it does not have birth to a young one. You will wondering how chicks are born. We will discuss below. Then these hen not give birth. It is how to form a chicks. Soon after fertilization, inside the female hen, the zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. Many protective layers are formed around it as it makes its way down. Then the hard shell that we see in a hen's egg is one such protective layer. Outermost, that means egg outer portion is white color portion is represent outermost layer. It is very hard. After the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen finally lays the egg. During development, the embryo gets food from the embryo, and the albumin in egg helps in protection. The hen then sits on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth for the development of eggs. The embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop into a complete chick. The development of the chick takes place inside the eggshell during this period. After the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the eggshell and comes out of it. That means after the 2 or 3 weeks after, the eggshell break and come to the chick. Then in your textbook page number 103, one box, there is box. Have you heard of test tube babies? Bujo and Maheli teacher once told them in class that in some women oviducts are blocked. That means some women have no give birth to babies. This type of these women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. In such cases, then doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours for IVF or in vitro fertilization. Fertilization outside the body. That means in machines or some other techniques there. This fertilization takes outside the body. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. then complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby. Babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. This type of extension and fertilization during birth to babies is called test tube babies. Then next we study external fertilization. This study in second part of the class. That means today we have to study modes of reproduction. What are the two types of reproduction? Sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. What is the meaning of sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction represents one male and one female joined to form another species or then asexual reproduction means only single parent or one male sperm or female ova or egg. Example, fish, starfish, frog. These are lay eggs on water there. Then this egg is mixed into the water. Then it absorb the other animals. Then fertilization take external type. This external fertilization detailed study in next class. And then next, what is the meaning of fertilization? Fertilization means one male and one female joined to form a zygote is called fertilization. Then next we study then male reproductive organ and female male reproductive have three parts: testis, two pair of testes, then penis and sperm duct. Then female, then three parts: oviduct, ovary and uterus. Okay.